It was 1 a.m. on our anniversary, and my phone buzzed with a message from my wife. My heart skipped a beat, expecting a sweet note, maybe a memory from our years together. But the words I saw made my blood run cold. "We need to talk. I can't do this anymore." I froze, unable to breathe. Was this really happening? I felt a mixture of disbelief and dread, knowing that in that moment, something in our lives was about to shatter, and I had no idea just how deep the betrayal ran. I am Adam, 32, married for 7 years, a man who thought he had everything: love, stability, and trust. I work long hours in marketing, often sacrificing my own rest to provide for my family. I prided myself on being attentive, thoughtful, and supportive. My wife, Clara, always appeared happy, laughing at my jokes, sharing late-night talks, and planning trips together. I believed we were inseparable, partners in every sense. Little did I know, the smile I cherished was carefully rehearsed, hiding secrets I wasn't even close to imagining. Our anniversary had started like every year, with dinner reservations, champagne, and her favorite flowers. I remembered the small gestures we shared, the quiet mornings reading together, and the laughter echoing through our apartment. Life felt perfect, almost too perfect, as if we had created a bubble of happiness that no one could pierce. We were that couple everyone admired, a couple I believed was unshakable. I trusted her completely, never suspecting the cracks hidden behind the smiles, until the message at 1 a.m. turned that idyllic world into a minefield of doubt. Work had been exhausting lately. Deadlines, late nights, and the pressure to outperform left me drained. I thought I was providing for us, but perhaps my constant focus on work left her feeling neglected. I blamed myself quietly, thinking maybe I hadn't given enough attention or romance. But deep down, I sensed there was more at play. Something didn't add up. The 1 a.m. message wasn't just inconvenient. It was a signal, a warning. And as I scrolled her phone, I discovered how far reality had strayed from the life I believed we shared. Opening her phone felt wrong, but my curiosity outweighed my hesitation. There were messages I was never meant to see: flirtatious texts, secret plans, late-night calls to numbers I didn't recognize. Each notification was a dagger, each word a confirmation of betrayal. My mind raced, struggling to process the depth of what she had hidden. Was it a phase, a mistake, or something far more deliberate? Questions spiraled endlessly, but the evidence was undeniable. What I thought was love now felt like deception, and I realized the conflict in our marriage had grown far beyond my comprehension. I confronted her the next morning, my voice trembling with rage and hurt. Clara's calm demeanor only fueled my anger. "It's nothing, you're overreacting," she said, avoiding my eyes. I slammed my hand on the counter. Accusations flew, voices rose, and old frustrations exploded into a torrent of blame. Every word she denied, every excuse she offered, deepened my sense of betrayal. The apartment that once felt like our sanctuary now felt suffocating, a cage of lies and mistrust. The fight escalated beyond reason, tearing apart the fragile remnants of the love I once believed unbreakable. By the end of the day, I knew there was no going back. Her half-truths and evasions had sealed the fate of our marriage. I packed a small bag, feeling numb, as if my body moved on autopilot. The betrayal had stripped away every illusion of security, leaving raw, exposed wounds. There was no apology sufficient, no explanation adequate. The love we had nurtured for years was eclipsed by the shadows of deceit. I realized that staying would only prolong the pain. This was the point of no return. I had to step away, even if my heart screamed against it. Later, I found the proof I feared most. Hidden behind her phone's locked gallery were images: Clara in another man's arms, stolen kisses in dimly lit rooms I would never have entered. The intimacy, the laughter, the whispered confessions, it all existed outside our marriage, just beyond my reach until now. I felt sick, my stomach twisting as the reality sank in. The woman I loved, the partner I trusted, had shared moments with someone else that she could never share with me. My worst fears were not only confirmed, they were worse than I had imagined. In the days that followed, I spiraled into confusion and guilt. Was I somehow responsible? Could I have noticed earlier, prevented this? Sleep eluded me, and every familiar space in our home felt tainted. Friends offered advice, but no words could soothe the raw ache of betrayal. I questioned everything, replaying moments, analyzing gestures, and regretting blind trust. The guilt was twofold, for failing to see it sooner and for the anger that sometimes made me feel cruel. The life I knew had fractured, leaving me suspended in a limbo of sorrow and disbelief. Then came the final revelation. I hacked her email, and there it was, a detailed itinerary of secret meetings, messages spanning months, and hotel reservations I had never known about. Each click unveiled the systematic betrayal I had been blind to. The careful planning, the timing, the clandestine romance, it wasn't spontaneous. It was deliberate. My world collapsed as I realized that my wife's deception was far more extensive than a few flirty texts. Every interaction I had believed in, every smile I trusted, had been carefully orchestrated to hide this double life. When I confronted Clara again, the denial lasted only minutes. Tears streamed down her face, confessions spilling in hurried, chaotic sentences. She claimed loneliness, stress, and fleeting attraction, but the evidence told a different story, one of repeated betrayal and secrecy. Her attempts at justification only confirmed the depth of her deception. I listened, numb, anger mingling with heartbreak. The confession was too little, too late. It offered no healing, only a bitter clarity. I realized then that the person I loved no longer existed in the life I once shared. She was someone I could never trust again. That night, I left. No drama, no shouting, just silence. I walked out with a suitcase, each step freeing me from the chains of betrayal. The apartment behind me, once our shared world, felt like a tomb of memories I could never reclaim. I didn't look back, not once. The city lights blurred as I drove away, tears mingling with rain. The life I thought I had was gone, and in its place, a raw, painful liberation. Exiting was both an end and a beginning, the first step toward reclaiming my dignity and my peace of mind. For weeks, I wrestled with loneliness, anger, and despair. Nights were the hardest. Memories of her laughter, her touch, the imagined future we planned, haunted me. I oscillated between longing for closure and wanting to erase her entirely from my life. Friends tried to console me, but no advice could mend the emotional fracture. I questioned my worth, my judgment, and even love itself. The desperation was suffocating, yet amid the pain, a spark of determination grew. I had to rebuild, to reclaim my identity, and to ensure that betrayal never defined me. 6 months later, life had changed drastically. I moved to a new city, started a fresh job, and rebuilt friendships. The scars remained, invisible yet persistent, reminding me of lessons learned. I had grown stronger, more cautious, and painfully wise. Clara's attempts to contact me were ignored. I had no desire to revisit the past. I learned to sleep alone, to trust carefully, and to cherish myself before anyone else. The betrayal had reshaped me, but not destroyed me. Life went on, fragile yet resilient, and I discovered an inner strength I never knew I possessed. Clara eventually reached out, demanding explanations, apologies, and reconciliation. Her sense of entitlement shocked me. She acted as if the years of deception were my fault, that I owed her forgiveness, love, or even attention. I realized then how deeply her selfishness ran, how carefully she had orchestrated a world where she could do wrong and still expect grace. It was a bitter revelation. Some people never change, and some betrayals are rooted in character, not circumstance. Recognizing this allowed me to close the door fully, without doubt or guilt. Friends and family were stunned when they learned the full story. Many sympathized, others questioned how I hadn't seen it sooner. I understood both reactions. Betrayal can be invisible, hidden behind smiles and reassurances. Sharing my story was cathartic, not for revenge, but to remind others that trust must be earned and vigilance is necessary in love. The comments, reactions, and quiet support reinforced my path forward. Betrayal leaves scars, but also wisdom. And in sharing, I reclaimed the narrative, transforming heartbreak into clarity and empowerment. The lesson was harsh but essential. Love is sacred, but trust is earned daily. Betrayal can come from the person closest to you, and appearances can be deceiving. Yet pain can be transformative. I learned to value myself, to detect deceit, and to never compromise my dignity for false love. Life after betrayal is not about revenge. It's about survival, growth, and reclaiming joy. I am stronger now, wiser, and unafraid to love again, but with eyes wide open. Some doors, once closed, remain closed forever, and that is a lesson worth every tear.